What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning back in to another fly tying tutorial. Today we're going to be tying up a midge. This right here is called the Magic Midge, and this is probably one of my most fished midges on my dropper rig. This and a zebra midge. This is awesome little pattern, really effective, and it's really easy to tie. So I'm going to get a fresh hooking device and we're going to get going with this tutorial. So the hook we have on the device right now is our Fly Fiend 350 WG. This is our jig hook, and this is in a size 18. And I have that paired up with a 2.5 slotted tungsten bead in the color black nickel. The thread we're going to be using is just some Veevus GSP. This is in a 30D. And I'm going to start my thread right behind this bead, propping it down into the eye. I'm going to build up a little dam here, just so it stays in place. And I can bring my thread back to where the barb would be, cut out my tag end. And our first material we're tying in is our rib. And for that, we're just going to be using some Spanflex or Flexi Floss. There's tons of different names for it, but it's pretty much just a kind of a rubber material. So I'm just going to capture that right behind the bead. I'm going to pull pretty hard on the material end that I'm going to be using, not the tag end that I'm cutting out. This is just going to keep that body nice and slim. Bring my thread back up. I like to leave about an inch or so on this tag end, so I can pull up really hard on it and just cut it, and that will just suck right back down into that thread there. So it just keeps it a little bit smoother. Just gonna clean that up a bit. Now for our body, we're gonna be using some Veevus body quill. This is the BQ13. It's kind of a yellowish color. So I'm just gonna grab about 12 inches here. And you can actually put this Veevus body quill on a bobbin if you want. If you want to use it as a thread. But I prefer just to cut it off. I just feel like I have a little bit more control when I have it, and I like to double it up. So I pretty much just fold it in half, and I have about 6 inches or so, 6 to 7 inches on each side. We're just going to tie this in. Right on that hook shank behind the bead. Just take it down. Kind of build that up just a little bit. Now I can come in and cut this out. Now we're going to take this Veevus body quill. We're just going to make some overlapping touching wraps up this body. So I'm just bring this all the way up to the back of the eye, come back down a little bit here, bring it back up. So right there I'm just kind of building up a little bit of a tapered abdomen. And once I get up to behind the back of that eye, I can tie this off nice and tight. Just snip out my excess. And I usually have about an inch to a half an inch of excess left. So now I'm going to grab this Spanflex, and I'm going to come under the body here, and I'm going to pull pretty tight on this because I want this to be kind of a subtle rib, as well as this is a size 18, so this stuff is it's pretty big, but if you stretch on it pretty hard, you can get a nice nice translucent rib going on there. So I'm just going to tie that off, cut out that excess. I'm just going to throw a little whip finish in here. And we're gonna hit this with a little bit of Loon Outdoors clear fly finish. This is gonna be in thin. You can use thin or flow or fluorescing flow. Kind of got that thread. So I'm not putting a lot on here. I just want to kind of give this a little bit of shine, a little bit of durability. And once this kind of soaks down into this body quill, it becomes very translucent. And I'm not putting a lot on here. I want just enough to add that durability, but I still want to be able to see the that rib pop through the body. So I'm just gonna hit this with my light here for about 10 seconds. That should be nice and hard. Now we're just gonna throw a little collar in here, and we're gonna be using some Hemingways Peacock dubbing. This is in the color UV brown, so it has a little bit of a UV in it, which I like. It's got that little purple kind of hue, and you don't need much. You're pretty much just kissing the thread here with a little bit of dubbing. Wrap that in. Then you just grab your whip finish tool, throw a little 4 or 5 turn whip finish in there. You can pull that nice and tight, and that will just suck right down into the back of that bead, and you won't even see it. So you can kind of just come around here and clean this up a bit. Just like so, and you're good to fish. So these are pretty easy to tie. I can tie a bunch of these very quickly, and I also fish this in a olive color as well as all black color. It does very well. So I hope you liked today's video, guys. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about the fly or any of the materials, you can drop that down in the comment section below. If you'd like to purchase some of these materials, you can check that out at frostyfly.com. I'll also leave that link in the description below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Thanks a lot again for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.